Located in the economic center of the Midwest and neighbor to Chicago, Local 697's jurisdiction covers the strategic southern shores of Lake Michigan, where the steel industry has reigned king. Over the years, much has changed, but the one constant has been the hard work and dedication of the 697 craftsmen and its leadership, which has made it one of the strongest trade unions in the nation.
If it's electrical, we're doing it in 697.
We've been fortunate that as a mainstay for electrical construction and maintenance in Northwest Indiana, we have a lot of heavy industry.
We have one of the strongest, if not the strongest, building trades in the country. We've been a part of that for over 50 years. There's always been an abundance of work here with the steel mills, refineries. That waned a little bit in the 80s. Steel is still king here. It's probably one of the last places in the country where there is still a lot of steel production.
Lake County is one of the last bastions of strong union construction left in the country. There's some others, but very few that are much more unionized in this area. And the work runs the gamut from the residential market, which we as an industry have recaptured a pretty good share of it, all the way up through heavy industry.
The success of Local 697 comes not just from its industry-rich location, but from years of hard work in forging relationships and teamwork with contractors, businesses, and the community.
We happen to have one of the best, most productive unions in the country in Northwest Indiana. It's been that way ever since I've been employed, and it comes from a real strong history and bond between the contractors and the actual union itself.
When we sit down to negotiate, it's not a big fight. It's how can we help you? What do you need from us? This is what we need from you. Let's make this thing work together. And that spirit of cooperation extends from the union hall all the way down to the job site. And it's very important, and I think it's a major reason that we have the market share that we enjoy, one of the top market shares in the country. We have the highest scale in the state of Indiana and associated with the highest market share. And there's a spirit of cooperation that I wouldn't enjoy my job if that didn't exist. I could not function for the benefit of the members if I was at adversarial relationship with the contractors constantly. I just don't see how that could benefit anybody in the long run.
We've always been able to settle our own concerns here in Northwest Indiana and not have to go to a third-party administrator to decide it. That says a lot in labor relations. That's a lifetime of time and effort to try to get to that, and it's a picture-perfect model with labor relations.
As IBEW Local 697 nears its 100th anniversary, a wealth of economic opportunities await. There is much development planned for Northwest Indiana, but these prospects must be earned and deserved. The realities of today's business world reward only those who can deliver exceptional quality and the highest productivity.
There's no such thing as luck, only preparation and opportunity. And we're blessed here going forward in the near term with opportunity at BP for a $4 billion project. They're going to take Canadian heavy crude from tar sands and bring it down here and refine it. In order to do that, they have to reconfigure the entire refinery, and there are 4 major capital projects that will be part of that for the next couple of years. We want to take advantage of this opportunity, so we know we have to prepare ourselves to do the best that we can while we're out there.
It's going to be one of the largest projects in many years in the country. We'll have probably 3 to 4 times the amount of people that we have out there at this time.
As a brotherhood, as a union, we're coming into a period of time where opportunities will be abundant, and the challenge that we will have is to take advantage of those opportunities, not become complacent.
With the upcoming work in 07 and 08 and in the future, our local can't man all this work by ourselves. We're going to need help from our brothers and sister locals that are out there, and we as a local have to show pride in our work, integrity in our work, and set the tone so that everyone that comes here is proud to say they worked around us, they learned something, they can take things home and say, hey, if we're ever out of work, this is a place we want to go.
If they're coming from Tennessee, or if they're coming from Georgia, or they're coming from a place where the non-union dominates their market, I think that when they come here, that they should observe and see how the brotherhood stays together here, and see how the contractors and the business managers work together, and understand that that strong relationship is what helps us keep our market. That if you have that adversarial relationship and you're fighting amongst yourselves, then you're fighting the wrong person. You need to be fighting the non-union, not each other.
And with an influx of people from out of town, I think it's very important that people here locally take ownership of these projects and make sure that everybody's on the same page and trying to move things forward. Really, it's a vulnerable time. We could either be hurt by all this work, or we can use it to move our local forward.
It can be all damaged by a couple of individuals. So individual responsibility is so important, and each and every one of us has to promise to ourselves and to our brothers and sisters that we're going to pull our load.
We're really looking forward to getting other traveling brothers in here. Hopefully it'll work out so that they'll establish crews and be teamed up with local journeymen. We can all rise together and work together hard, give 100%, 8 hours for 8 hours of pay, rise up to the quality, rise up to the quantity of work, and do their best to supplement us so that we could all be proud and represent each other and our families well within this jurisdiction.
With an abundance of work comes competition for that work. Local 697 cannot afford to view itself as the only game in town. The near-term opportunities demand a recommitment to 697's core principles. These same principles have been in place since its beginnings in 1911 and have maintained the local's quality, reliability, and strength, traits for which its membership is known.
I envision our local 10 years down the road to be bigger than it is now, stronger than it is now, more vibrant, and have a bigger market share than it does now. And we're taking the steps right now to ensure that that happens. The opportunity is there. The gaming industry is expanding at a rapid pace. The refinery is expanding at a very rapid pace. We're standing here at Gary Airport, which is the seed of Chicago's third airport.
Well, in the future of the electrical contracting field, we're hoping that we keep it union. And every day that's a fight, because people from outside of the area that are non-union may try to come in and take over some of the perspective, the work coming ahead.
We have contractors like Gaylord and coming into this area, and it's definitely a threat. If we don't stick together and we start getting complacent and saying, oh yeah, we have the market, no one's going to beat down our door and get in here, that's wrong. Because you know what? They will. If we don't stick together, maybe bring up our work ethic a little harder, give back a little bit more together, they ain't going to knock down our door. All we have to sell is being professional and our pride and our workmanship. That's what we got.
Our value will always be proportional to how hard we work and how much we produce. And our customer knows that. And if he's paying a premium and we're not providing a premium service, we're going to lose work.
Local unions that I have worked in other parts of the country were at 80% at one time, and now are 10 to 15% of the market. And it is truly important that we recognize that markets have changed, that markets demand different attitudes, different skill sets, different ways of doing things, and that we adapt to those markets.
There are a lot of forces, external forces, that are just waiting to come in and take our jobs, our work away from us. So in order to prevent that, the Gaylors of the world from coming in here and skimming off work that should be ours and has been ours, we have to be sure that we are on top of our game technically. Attitude is so important. Everybody going to work every day, enjoying what they do, making an effort to make a difference every day, because the customer does have a choice. They don't have to hire our contractors that employ our members. especially at the wage package that we demand. It's so important to earn your money every day.
Local 697 constantly faces challenges that test the integrity of its membership. These bumps in the road demand that serious decisions be made and lessons be learned.
We had a project here 2 years ago at U.S. Steel, number 14 blast furnace. A huge job, about a $300 million job. And several things went wrong, starting with engineering, timing, scheduling. We were told initially the job was going to peak out at about 120 electricians. At the time, we knew we could cover that with our members from Book One and a few travelers from next door. And didn't seem like there was a real sense of any kind of problems occurring on that job.
One of the problems that developed from this blast furnace project was almost from the onset. There were very many carbon monoxide leaks on the furnace, which made the furnace come down early, which hampered the backbone of the temporary power being installed. And at that point, we were reactive instead of proactive.
We had a foreign general contractor. We had a foreign engineering outfit that was successful with U.S. Steel in Eastern Europe, and they brought them here. From the start, we were behind the 8 ball. Didn't have the engineering. Most of the job, or a good portion of the job, was supposed to be pre-outage, which didn't happen. But from there on out, it just snowballed. We had met with the union and said we probably would max out at 120 employees on the job site. Well, it grew beyond 300.
Supervisors that were in place were not experienced enough. A lot of young supervisors that we had out there that hadn't had a lot of experience at running crews. Maybe their first time they'd been a foreman, maybe second. And people came into town, took advantage of that situation, and weren't as productive as they should have been. They saw an opportunity to prolong the job even more or take advantage of the chaos that was out there, which is just the opposite of what we needed at that time. We needed people to actually redouble their efforts.
We experienced fraternal strife, I guess you'd say, within our own organization, our brotherhood. And I was somewhat frustrated by it, and I understand there's extracurricular groups within our organization, but they need to leave that outside.
We can't afford another mistake like that because it's a global economy now, and they have choices. They don't have to invest in Northwest Indiana. They can invest in Prague. They can invest in South America. If they don't feel like they're getting the investment return on their dollar here, the productivity from the construction people, they'll build it somewhere else. As simple as that.
IBEW 697 has always been known for its highly trained craftsmen and a commitment to excellence in the workplace. How can we best continue to honor these assurances to those that hire us and make a solid pledge that we are and will be the best?
It's 8 for 8 or hit the gate. Been hearing that since I was an apprentice, and it sounds hardcore, but it's back to the trust and the honesty.
2 guys in a crew, 1 guy in a crew can ruin a crew, top to bottom, if they're left to their own wiles. Not showing up for work, when they are at work, not being where they belong, not helping when it's needed. It's bad news, and then when you got a whole crew gone and you've got a bunch of crews, everybody starts looking at that crew, and the circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Typically on jobs where you'll have 100, 150, 200 guys, it's obvious, it's apparent that you'll have 10% absenteeism a day, and that's a crew. And so you've got supervisors that are replacing workers and changing the crew makeup, and it's so counterproductive. And that's when we start to lose our value. And when we lose our value, then we're in trouble as an organization. And this is a partnership between the contractors and the union.
We have to be better and stronger and more productive than the non-union guy, or we're going to lose our market share. And if we don't work together as a team, contractor and IBEW, then we won't succeed.
We want to take advantage of this opportunity, so we know we have to prepare ourselves to do the best that we can while we're out there. So we've introduced the Code of Excellence, which comes from the western states, IBEW district, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, 8th district, and we have adopted that, and we're kind of formulating that on a proactive basis so that we secure a customer at BP that we've had for several years, and we want to keep them going forward. It's a huge job. It's going to take a large commitment on our part to provide manpower, and we want to make sure that our manpower is productive. They're there on time every day to do the job that they're supposed to do. We want to make sure that our supervisors are prepared to handle the workload and the number of people that will be coming in to do the task. We want them to have all the tools that they need so that our craftsmen can stay busy, our contractors can make money, and BP will be satisfied as a customer for years to come, because this project could go anywhere from 5 to 15 years.
Some of those jobs that have been done around the country already under the Code of Excellence was sold not by the contractor, but by the business manager and the officers of that local union, that if you'll give us a chance, it's not like the past. We've stepped up to the plate now, and we've got the Code of Excellence. We're making a commitment to you. You give us a chance on this job, and we will show you what we can do. And that's, we're committed to get this job done on time and under budget.
Every customer that has come in contact with a true Code of Excellence job has walked away satisfied. It comes down to essentially doing what we've said we're going to do, both parties.
Well, management's going to have to step up also, along with the rank and file on the jobs, and make sure that their supervision, starting from the superintendents, general foreman, and foreman, are really effective leaders out there in supervision in order to get the job done. And I think that's one part of the equation that we find when a local union and management is developing the Code of Excellence on a job, is we find people who are in supervisory capacity who don't really know how to put teams together in order to get the best bang for their buck and get the job done. So this is something that's very important for management to do, and that is to get their people trained. They also have to make sure that tools and material are delivered on time in order to get it done.
And we would encourage the local unions to adopt a Code of Excellence that's specific for the type of work that they do. You know, there's local unions have different types of work that's in their jurisdiction. Then you'll need to take it to the local union, get them to buy into it. But first, the district has to buy into. Our vice president's districts have to buy into it, and then it becomes pattern language, and it'll be in everybody's agreement. And all they'll have to do then is to tweak it to fit their particular local.
Those people who want to drive our conditions down a little bit by not showing up to work and substance abuse problem, I think we need to take care of them. Some of those people, by telling them that they've got a real problem and they ought to get it corrected and fix it, in many cases they will fix that. But if no one ever tells them, and a Code of Excellence steward on a job needs to be telling these guys that you've been absent, your absenteeism is killing us, or you're late coming to the job and you're quitting early and whatever, and we're not going to tolerate it anymore. If you've got a problem with it, then get your tools, and it'd be better that you quit, get off the job, because if you don't, the possibility of management is going to terminate. Now, the union don't terminate anybody. We don't want to get in that responsibility, but we sure as heck want to warn some of our members out there that there is a little problem on a job.
Vince Lombardi stated that a man's quality of a man's life is in direct proportion to his commitment to excellence, no matter what his chosen field. So it doesn't matter if you're an apprentice, a journeyman, foreman, general foreman, you have to go out on the job site every day and do your specific job to the best of your ability for this whole process to work. Our stewards are going to be an integral part of the Code of Excellence. They're going to ensure and demand that supervisors are providing tools, information, materials to our craftsmen. They're going to demand that our craftsmen are staying busy in doing the job that they're provided with every day. They're going to ensure that everybody's treated fairly on the job site. We have collective bargaining agreements that ensure that everybody works with dignity and respect, but we have to give value to the customer.
Brothers and sisters, the Code of Excellence works. It's a program that with a little effort will produce major gains for you, your local union, and the Brotherhood. In fact, it is no overstatement to say our future may very well depend upon it. By using the Code of Excellence, we're reminding ourselves we're all in this together, and together we can achieve anything.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 697, is strong and will continue in that strength by its membership respecting the projects they take on, and most importantly, by honoring one another.
What we do is build things. What we do is change the world. One stick of conduit, one wire pole at a time.
There's a sense of belonging, and that's basically what I love about being a union guy. I mean, it's just you belong to something, and I do. You know, when you're doing your job, you got the right material and the tools to do it, and it gets done and it looks good. You feel good about it, and that's what the product. You know, you're selling your product, and that's basically one of the main. I think one of the most important, thing about being union is how well the job is done in a professional manner. So, yeah, it's a great thing.
I think in the word brotherhood in our trade, as Local 697, I think it still is there. There's a weird bond of helping each other, sticking up for each other. Maybe if there's even a problem, conflict between personalities, you still know you're kind of binded as one, and you kind of help each other, and it goes a long way. I think it was strong in the old days. I think it's still strong, and I think it means something.
Your single skills and the individual is a very small piece of a large puzzle, and together we're only as strong as our weakest link, and that's why there's such a commitment on everybody's part to show your brothers what the proper way to do things are, teaching, mentoring, because together we have so much strength and power that we can get anything done.